What's up, guys? We're here on behalf of Tiradeworld Worldwide, premiering our inaugural industry series. And with me right now, Kevin Barr from Moonboy, aka Moonboy. And we're here to discuss, some of the things that he's been up to lately and the journey that he's had moving forward from young creative to an esteemed person in the industry. So Kevin, man, how you been? What's going on?
Good, man. Just probably busier than ever. But yeah, good, great. Yeah, blessings.
Awesome, man. So you've been busy. What does that mean for you, last 6 months, 12 months as a creative?
Yeah, dude, last 12 months, probably the weirdest 12 months, I guess, for everyone, I would say. Because for 4 months, it was dead quiet, like nothing to do. And then the 4 months after, like no time to do anything other than work, I guess. So it's been contrasting.
So when you say work, detail exactly, what that is for you and your team.
Yeah, man, so right now what we specialize in is music videos mainly, but we do commercial work as well. And yeah, that's what we do, write, produce, edit, shoot music videos.
Now, you talk about being in the creative industry, and this has been a huge, busy period for you and your team. Tapping into the music scene, who are some of the artists that you've recently touched base with?
Yeah, over the last year, because of quarantine and stuff, we haven't really been doing too many internationals. So right now we're just working with a lot of Australian-based hip-hop artists. So we've recently done some work for Jeswa, Enemy, No Money Enterprise, Tiger Lily, a DJ. And then earlier on in the year, we did a clip for these boys out in Malaysia, so a DJ duo called Babe. And that's some of our catalogue for this year.
Now, that's this year's. 2021 is just around the corner.
Yeah.
What have you guys got your eyes set on? What's on the horizon?
I think what we're really trying to do for 2021, because I guess this year was a bit of a trial and error period with, moving forward from COVID. I feel like we're ending the year in such a strong way that next year, like early next year, it's going to be each state. We want to do a bit of work from each state, clients from, I guess, all over Australia. And there's heaps more to come.
Amazing, bro. You talk about travel. I think for a lot of young creatives, looking up or looking ahead to you guys. Let's talk about some of the things that the industry can afford you, like travel-wise. Where have you guys taken this in terms of your travel for projects?
Yeah, so that's something we're really blessed with in this field, is being able to travel and work, I guess, at the same time. So Malaysia, earlier this year, we've been to China, Japan, America, so like LA, New York type areas. There's a couple others, but I just forget.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. If you talk about those areas, where do you think the next hotspots are moving forward? Where do you think the next talent's going to come from?
Yeah, man, realistically, I think Europe, mainly UK. I see a lot of talent coming from there that I'd like to work with. Also, I love Japan. I want to go back and do some more stuff there. Just the culture, the vibes, everything's on point there.
Amazing. Yeah. Fantastic. You mentioned culture. That's a big part of, presumably what the industry is about. Now, let's talk a bit about Australian culture. How do you think, from an international standpoint, do you think Australian culture is viewed?
I guess people, at the moment, my honest perspective is that Australia is kind of like a second thought. But every time someone brings up Australia, they'll say, oh, I want to go there one day. So there's like a bit of interest already, but we haven't done anything notable enough for people to be like, oh yeah, that's them. That's what they do. I think it's coming though. It's already started, I would say, the Australian uprising. But we still have a bit of a ways to go in order to, I guess, match what's coming out of the UK, certain other countries, obviously. And yeah, we're on the way there though.
Absolutely. So reaching wider audiences, with all that you know about this industry and being in the media, what are the best avenues to reach wider audiences today?
I think originality. I don't think being completely. I think the best way to do it is do it in an Australian way, where people will see what that is or hear what that is and be like, yeah, those are Australians, but also be relatable enough for the general, the globe, I guess. So not something where only Australians will get, but something where everyone can enjoy, but also have that, manage to keep that Australian sound or whatever quality.
Absolutely. If you had to describe the Australian sound, what do you think that is today in the music scene?
Man, in the music scene, I think it's changing so much, especially this year. I would say this year I'm hearing a lot more Polynesian influenced artists. So like a lot of the rap groups that are coming up, Polynesian bros, and I think that is a demographic or a wave. I would say that's picking a lot of traction because they're. I guess from an American standpoint, hearing that kind of sound, it's like, oh, these guys actually have they can relate it back to what their culture has going, but it's like, oh, these guys are that part of the world's version of this.
Yes.
So it's relatable in that way.
So let's take a back step. Let's start with your journey.
Yeah.
So before, aka you're Moonboy,
Yeah.
let's take you back to when you were younger self, Kevin. When did your creative journey start, and how did it start?
A lot of it started in preschool or that kind of age. I would always draw. The thing is, I would, for some reason, always love to dress up in class as well, like the costumes and whatnot. And I guess that's like creative outlet, but I didn't really know what it was at the time because all the kids were playing on the playground. So that's kind of where it started, then drawing, and then from drawing, I guess led to photography, to graphic design, and then videos, and it just stemmed from there.
Cool. So you mentioned photography. When did it become apparent that maybe this direction of videography is your strength and your strong point?
Yeah, so funny story. I have a friend who used to do videos, and I was helping him out on a video shoot one day. And at that time, I was a pizza boy, so I was working in a pizza shop, earning $10 an hour, for instance, which is exactly what I was earning. And then I was helping him out for a day, and I was like, dude, how much are you getting for this? And he told me, and I'm like, dude, at the time it was like $200 for the video, and I was like, dude, I need to start doing this because it's fun, and I saw money coming in, and that was like the perfect reason to justify the passion, if you know what I mean. It gave me that balance of, oh, this is actually realistic, and it's it's gonna fulfill me in a way.
That's a big word, passion.
Yes.
How much of it does it play a role in becoming successful in this industry?
I think the passion is crucial because starting off, you're probably not going to get paid what you want or what you deserve. And to be honest, starting off, you probably don't deserve to be paid too much because skill level. So the main thing that's going to drive you through the tough times, I guess, is passion. And that's also how you can, I guess, different levels of passion is how you can differentiate, who's going to make it and who's not, because someone who's passionate will work into the night through to the morning, and that's just standard. Whereas someone who's not as into it, maybe it's like something they dabble in, they're not going to put in the time when they get tired.
What age, did that passion start burning?
I would say, I don't want to since day 4.
True.
So I'm not going to say as soon as I started drawing, I was fully into it, but I remember being in kindergarten and the kids would be playing on the playground. I'd knock on the caretaker's office and she would just let me draw at her desk, and that's what I would do rather than play with the kids. So it's that's probably, I guess where it all started. So
how much credit do you give, to those early days? How much do you think that's influenced you to be where you are now, those early days?
Dude, it's everything, man, because just the way that your mind runs, it's your base operation system. So if the driving force of your soul is just to create, you don't even have to think about it. It just happens, and that's the upbringing is what kind of creates that. So having supporting parents and a good environment is always going to be crucial.
Let's assume the best. Yep. Let's assume we don't have another 2020 COVID.
Yep.
Let's assume we move forward and those opportunities you speak of, we start getting more and more of that. What do you think the next goal, the next challenge is for you and your team moving forward?
Yeah. I guess the challenge, man, is for a long period of time, I feel like I've been kind of a one-man band with assistants on the side. I'd really like to almost get to a position where I can kind of take a step back and see my crew do their own projects and see, I guess the word I'm looking for is scaling. I'd like to scale the movement up a bit more, so I don't have to be the main driving force, and I can put my time into other things. And that's probably the biggest challenge, is quality control and just finding people with that I speak of that passion, but just the same drive.
Yes.
Otherwise, they won't last. So, yeah, that's the biggest challenge at the moment.
Absolutely. So, with everything you guys have, overcome this year, is there a single moment or a couple single moments that you could point out as, the personification of the things you've achieved? What are those memorable crowning moments for you?
It's interesting you say that. I guess like there's been a couple times this year where I've just like snapped myself into the present moment and been like, dude, this is what I've wanted to do for ages and I'm doing it. Like, and it's just a quick reminder of just enjoy it and soak it in. Don't be stressed. Like, you might be on a set for a commercial, but you've wanted to do a commercial for ages. So like, just take a step back and appreciate like your where you've wanted to be. So that's earlier this year we did that. And another thing as well is not even to do with shooting or anything. I was just in the same room with my team and being like, yo, like I've wanted a team for ages. I look around and I'm like, this is kind of like, back then I didn't have the faces locked down, but now I can see the faces and they're like in the same room. So like moments like that, I'm like, yo, this is sick.
Yeah, of course. And hopefully moving forward, 2021, beyond into the future, those are the moments that you're crossing your fingers for again. And we thank you for coming and having a sit down with us, having a conversation about the things you've picked up and where you guys are looking forward to. And we look forward to your next move as well. And we appreciate your company, bro.
And I appreciate you having me, man.
Thank you very much, man.
Thank you.
So on behalf of every one of us at Tiradeworld, we'd like to thank you guys for clocking in, logging on, and tuning into us for our very first episode of Tiradeworld Industries.